Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to introduce our next speaker. She's one of my favorite people on the planet, Vahen King. She is an incredible dynamo. You can't see right now, but she's in a wheelchair, and yet she shows us all that all things are really possible. And I want to dive into your story, Vahen, so that people can even know a little bit about you before they get to the summit. You weren't always in a wheelchair.
No. Well, I graduated from college, off to greener pastures, wanted to go, change the world kind of thing, right? And I met my husband now, and when we got engaged, it was 1 week after engagement was when I literally ended up in the hospital fighting for my life. Like they thought they were going to lose me. And here I am in the hospital, just got engaged. I was looking forward to a life with Vaughan and, sailing into the sunset. And next thing you know, the doctors don't know if they're going to lose me. Or then when I finally got the diagnosis of transverse myelitis, they said, Vahen, you'll never walk again, and you're going to be basically dependent on other people just for your daily care. Like, so never mind being in a wheelchair, but like you're going to now, they didn't even see me as being able to take care of myself. So in and through all that, I'm like, I just got engaged. Like, is this man still going to want me? And can I be a good wife? Like if they're telling me I can't take care of myself, how in the world am I going to be a good wife? So anyway, through that process, I knew that I had to ask him, okay, it's just new. We haven't really told anyone yet. You can take the ring back and say, that's a game changer. And Connie, when he said that God gave you to me, now I'm not going to give you back and say you're not good enough. Like, he stayed and we're going to conquer this. But transverse myelitis and all that I had gone through as a result of then pushing through all the self-doubt and insecurities of being now a person with a disability was a whole other gamut of challenges. But yeah, I was born and raised all my life. I was that extrovert, I was head cheerleader, played sports, and wanted to kind of have some way to change the world. Or at least, I did have a desire to encourage and empower other people. And so here I am at the lowest point in my life, now a person with a disability, and I'm feeling as far from anybody that can encourage and inspire as you can imagine. And so that's literally how my journey ended as an able-bodied person and began as a person with a disability. But I will say that was the journey that led me to be where I've always desired to be. And that didn't happen overnight, I tell you.
Wow. That's incredible. And I think it's just so important for people to know that, it just, this happened in your 20s. And
Mm-hmm.
And then you went on to a journey of becoming Miss Wheelchair Canada. Like, tell us a little bit about that process and how that even started.
Oh my gosh. Like, can you imagine? Okay, so think about Vahen in the hospital, like as a person with a disability. I didn't want to be seen in public. I hated being seen in my chair, and I did not feel pretty at all. But going through the process of being actually able to now be showcased on a stage, on a runway, in a beauty pageant, like, FYI, come to the summit and you'll hear all about how you can find the courage to overcome and get there. But so here I am now, as a person with a disability in a beauty pageant. Like, who'd ever thought, right? When I was first approached, I'm like, no, I'm like in my 40s. What am I doing in a beauty pageant? So I entered the first ever Miss Wheelchair Canada and won. And within 3 weeks, I was then on the world stage representing Canada. And it was just such an amazing experience then to also get this title of Miss Kindness World. And there's so many other stories even in that process about how we have an opportunity, like literally, it's so unfair, really, when you are just naturally kind to other people, how much that is received, because it's not a common thing. People don't naturally, I guess, put others first. And in that setting, I've got some really neat stories. Do you want me to tell you one story about the world stage? That was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember one story in particular. It was the day before the final gala. And we were on the stage doing all these, our dance routine and going through, but they had the video playing behind us of all of the different ladies doing their little speech and, that kind of thing. And I looked up and I seen one of the faces of my dear girls up on the thing, and what her smile should have been the main feature, right? Like her smile and her beautiful story. But I just saw this red lipstick right on her tooth, like for all the world to see. And all I could think of was like, oh my goodness, if that was me, I would want someone to tell me, right? And so I didn't see my friend. I just went right to the producers. I know how that would be a quick fix in the video editing or whatever. And I said, listen, could you, take care of that? Because that can't be the main thing on her video, right? And so anyway, I went on the next morning. This is the day of the gala. I was at breakfast and I saw my friend, Miss Netherlands. And I went up to her. I told her what I just told you. And she, I think, was more amazed by what I had done than her horrific thoughts of having lipstick on her teeth. Like, she was so blown away by the fact that I would, now this is a competition, that right, I would like go out of my way to make somebody else look good. And that was just the most, and I have story after story of that. And there's a lot of pressure when you're at a beauty pageant, right? Like there's all this competition and there was some heightened tensions that I, won't get into now. But every time someone broke down and cried, they're like, Miss Canada, because they always just like, come on, brought me into, I don't know, I just had that ability to like help encourage someone and stop them from crying or whatever. And so that's why I guess at the end of the day, when they, said who they wanted to be Miss Kindness, the vote was unanimous. Well, minus my vote, I didn't vote for myself, but but so that just that whole journey of what I like, here I am, struggling for my life in a hospital bed and thinking that God had forgotten me, and that this journey of wanting to encourage and inspire other people had died with my, my body just like totally breaking down, to the point where what I thought was the end literally gave me an opportunity. This opposition, this tragedy gave me an opportunity for something more than I could ever have even imagined or accomplished as an able-bodied person without that journey. And that is mind-blowing to me.
That is mind-blowing, because I think there's people listening, they've been through tragedy, they've been through horrific things. And this is why I wanted you to speak at our summit, because if anyone is struggling with something that's happened in your life, I mean, you just listen to you, Van, and you just see possibility where other people see obstacles, and you see that a lot of times these things can actually lead us to where we were supposed to be, as horrible as it is. And yet I'm on your Instagram, I'm following you, and I see you working out. And
yes,
first of all, thanks for that, because then when I watch you, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get off my sorry hiney and I'm going to work out, because apparently Vahen's doing it. And if she's doing it, then Connie, get off your butt.
But secondly, which, by the way, I'm really proud of you and all that you've done, by the way. I'm so, the struggle is real, right? The struggle is real.
The struggle's real. But tell us a little bit about this. Like, when I see you working out, I just am so amazed. Like, tell us about this journey.
Oh, the journey of working out. I just had a conversation just yesterday with someone who's struggling to get to the gym, or struggling, feeling like I can't do as much as I want to, and all that kind of thing. And I've been on and off the wagon so many times. I feel like I don't even know why I want to get back on again. Do you know what I mean? I mean, y'all, anybody listening understands that. But honestly, Connie, I think for the first time, I started realizing that I had to make myself a priority. And the reason why I fell off the wagon so many times is because I'm so busy over here, and all the things that I plan, I never include me in that plan and what I need, like with my health and my diet or whatever it is I need. And so it's easy to push that aside because I'm so busy helping everybody else. And in this season, oh, I could get emotional because like I'm no good to anybody else if I can't take care of me. And the word that I've had before COVID started is endurance. Don't let anything hurt and hinder your endurance of joy, peace. And if you don't have endurance physically and mentally, you can't help anybody else. And so honestly, the excitement and the way that, like, if I've inspired anybody else to this journey, that is just gravy or extra. But I want to say to anybody listening that I am more excited about the fact that it actually made me a priority. And anybody who's thinking that making you a priority is selfish or that you can't and all that kind of stuff, like that's a whole other topic. Because you need to make you a priority. And when you make you a priority, you are better for other people.
Yeah. Wow. Well said. And
Thank
on
you.
that note, when we get off of this interview, I'm going to go grab a bicep curl or like a little weight, and I'm going to get her done. You know, I really like what you're saying here. And I love your heart to empower others and create courage in people through your story. I can't wait for people to hear more of your story and hear a little bit about, like, when I hear you talk about courage, I mean, I get goosebumps, and I know that people are going to be so just knocked out of their socks because of just what you bring. So I just want to thank you for doing this little mini interview for people to meet you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And Connie, I just want to thank you for allowing me this honor and privilege to be in that space and and honestly, anybody watching right now, this little blip, when you come to this summit, not just from me, but other people, what I believe that you will take away is the fact that it's not just Connie doing amazing things. It's not just Vahen or even Caroline Leaf. You have that same opportunity to be resilient and an overcomer. You just got to want to.
Wow. So good. Yes. Well, on that note, everyone, we'll see you at the summit. I'm going to post the link to join, and we will see you there.